Get going, right? It's Friday. Everybody's ready to start their party weekend.
Yeah, let's get it going.
Absolutely.
You want to take
All
it
right.
away, Karen?
Sure. So welcome Keller Williams Charleston to our State of the Company for April 2021. Tiffany, do you have the slides or do I need to pull them?
I do. I was going to say, do you want me to go through announcements before you guys start into content, or how?
Perfect. Yep.
You want to do that?
now.
All right. So just a few quick announcements so that we can get into the meat and potatoes of this whole thing. Just real quick so that everybody knows, Ignite starts on Monday. So that's going to be extremely important. If you want to be in Ignite, register to sign up. Monday starts a new class. So that's awesome. There's also a cool class, Win-Win Negotiations, on Tuesday, the 4th from 9 to 1:30. So if you're getting yourself into some tricky situations where you're not always winning the deal, this is going to be a great educational class for you to just kind of hone your skills. And then Market Stats with Anton is next Friday, always a good one. And then Red Day. Red Day is the big day of the year where we shut down our offices and we just go give back into the community. So both market centers are doing something on Thursday, May 13th. And so be on the lookout from your prospective market centers on what to do. I know Mount Pleasant's doing a food drive and a blood drive, and we're in West Ashley are doing a food drive. And so more information is coming out if you haven't seen some already. So make sure you do that. My final big announcement, which we'll probably talk more on, is if you are not a part of the KW Greater Charleston Network Facebook group, make sure you're joining that. There are a lot of people posting their listings that are coming soon. There's people posting their buyers' needs. They're in there posting so that we can get in front of each other's listings and needs before it hits the MLS. We're seeing this crazy market. We're going to be talking about this crazy market. And so definitely make sure you're in that group. If you're not already, I'll post the link to it in the chat while they're talking. So make sure you're in that. Those are all my announcements.
I love it. Thank you, Tiffany. Any questions about any announcements before we get rolling? All right. So we are Vince and I have been talking about the format of this meeting, and initially it's kind of a vision meeting to where the two market centers and the business centers and all can come together as one unit and work together to the benefit of all the agents. So moving forward, we want to make this meeting, I need the slide, Tiffany. We want to make this meeting about you and what's best for you and your business. We will be having some mastery panels, I guess, agent panels, where we'll interview agents in the office or even outside that are having success, and what are they doing and how are they doing it? And if they could do it all over again, what would they do differently? We found that agent panels are a great way to learn from other people, and we are a culture of sharing. The other thing would be masterminds. Like if we have a topic that we can come together on and mastermind to find a solution or find an idea or a strategy or a best practice or what have you, we grow together through this. And I've had the privilege of being part of a couple of masterminds just in the last few weeks, and I'm bringing some of that content to you today. So you'll get an idea of what that looks like. But please, if you have ideas, suggestions, if you have something you've done or you would like to see a panel or a mastermind on, let someone on the leadership team know, whether it's Vince, myself, Tiffany, Kristen, Samantha, Kayla, whoever your productivity coach is. Let us know and get that to our attention, and we will make that. This is a monthly meeting, and we want to make sure that we are bringing you high level content that's going to help you and is going to make the most value for your time. So just be aware of that. Okay, so Keller Williams Luxury, or KW Luxury, the House of Excellence. I had the privilege of being on a mastermind with Brady and Gary Keller yesterday. Brady is the, I guess, president of the luxury division. And boy, have they made some big changes. They gave us the first quarter numbers. So real quickly, I just want to go through these with you. These numbers, as we go through them, represent transactions at or over $1 million. So they don't even include in some of the counties what we do consider luxury, but they just went straight into the million and up price point. For the first quarter of 2021, Keller Williams luxury agents took 8,335 listings. Keller Williams luxury agents sold 4,672 listing for closed sales volume of $7.67 billion. Let me make it very clear to you. Every single one of you can take advantage of Keller Williams Luxury. So when I say luxury agents, I'm not referring to that specific group of agents who have earned in. The material is available to each and every Keller Williams associate who takes a listing that is at or above the luxury ceiling. In Charleston County, that's $1 million or more. In some of the surrounding counties, I believe it's 700 or 750. Check with us, your team leaders. We can look into that, and I'll actually share my screen with you in a little while and show you where you can find some of that information. So the next slide, the total buyer closings of transactions at or over $1 million, 5,030. Closed sales volume of those buyers closings, 8 million or 8.44 billion. Numbers are not my thing today, apparently. So the top total closed sales, 9,702. Total closed volume, $16.12 billion. And the total number of agents who transacted a luxury sale, 14,983. So that is what? Less than 10% of the agents in the company. Guys, take advantage of this. I'm going to show you some neat information and ways to plug in here in a moment. And I think the last slide in regards to numbers on luxury is the numbers representing the transactions that involved referrals. So when we look at incoming and outgoing migration patterns, where are people coming from? Where are they going to? The luxury is no different than like standard home sales and relocation. There are migration patterns among luxury buyers and sellers. The volume of those transactions that were referred, $2.13 billion. So I'll just make a note on this. We refer to referral fees as mailbox money, right? So can you imagine sending a referral at 25% to someone in another market, and they sell $1 million house, and you get 25% of that commission? So just something to be mindful of. Please use our referral network. Market yourself to your sphere. Anyone you may know looking for real estate that may have a need, they can be anywhere, and you can get referral fees off of that. The luxury ones are probably a lot nicer when they come in the mail. And yep. Somebody have a question?
Every week.
Okay.
Hold on.
So we did this one, didn't we? Okay. So this was probably my favorite part, and I got really fired up when I was talking to Vince about it this morning. Keller Williams Luxury has an exclusive partnership with a company called the Inspirato Club. If you have not heard of them, go to their website, look at their travel experiences. They've been in business for 10 years. They're the #1 provider of luxury travel experiences. I'm talking private jet, next level Airbnb, concierge services, private yachts, you name it. They even have like an RV experience, like everything. What this means to us, our luxury listings, I believe it has to be $1 million or greater to be listed, can go onto their website for their buyer and investor leads. So what they do is they have people who will purchase these homes in a luxury market that would be great vacation homes, and they create the customer experience. So it's like the Airbnb marries the Ritz-Carlton and the lifestyles of the rich and famous. I don't know how else to put it all together, but I was mind blown when I looked at their website. The way I understood it yesterday, say Jennifer, you list a property for $1.2 million. You put it on their website. It's a great vacation type property. One of their investors wants to buy it. You then get the buyer's lead. So your listing is now sold, and you are representing that buyer as well. So it's kind of a really, really cool concept. It is an advantage of being a KW associate and having a luxury listing. That is something that I was beyond excited about it. I think it's a great opportunity. Okay.
And I'll add to that real quick, Karen.
Yeah.
I think as we were talking, one of the biggest things that we want to make sure that we're constantly doing is bringing awareness to some of the infrastructure and resources that you as agents have access to, so that you can bring more value to your consumer and to your clients, right? In the past, we haven't talked a ton about the global infrastructure, right? We're a part of the largest real estate infrastructure in the world. And they're working tirelessly in the background to create relationships like this one with the Inspirato Club, or create content like we're going to get into later to help you market multiple offers situations and things of that nature, right? And get more sellers and get more listings and take more business and take more market share. So that's what we're talking about this, because these are resources that you have access to, so that you can, again, sell more real estate and help more people.
Yeah, I love that. And we just want to bring it to your attention because we do realize that there is more content than there are hours in the day. So I don't want you to be on a listing appointment or have a buyer and miss an opportunity because you didn't know about a resource that we have. So hopefully we're doing a good job of getting that information to you. So the next slide was a little bit about trends. So what are we seeing? What is the top real estate trend right now? And one of the things they talked about, especially in the higher price point, but I just agree that this is just in the higher price points. I think this is across the board. Number one trend in real estate, people are adding backyard amenities. They've been cooped up, they've been locked down, they want to spend some money, invest in their space for outdoor living. And I mean, whether it's a swimming pool or even just an extended patio screening in the porch, people are starting to venture out. And at the same time, they enjoyed being at home. So they're making that space more enjoyable, and they're wanting to spend time in their own private yards. So that was kind of an interesting, we're seeing that everywhere. The second one, which I thought was, okay. The spas were closed, or people still don't feel safe going to the spa. So if the bathroom allows room for it, they're creating spa-like features in the bathroom, whether it's a steam shower or a sauna or whatever they're adding. That is a huge trend. So that was number two. And then number three, believe it or not, dining rooms are making a comeback. So people are cooking more meals at home or having meals brought to their homes, and they don't want to eat at the breakfast area or the bar anymore. They actually want to sit down as a family or as a couple, or whatever, whoever's with them, their friends. They want to utilize that dining room space. So that's kind of a fun fact. So if anybody that you're talking to in the listing space or in the buying space, as you're having conversations with them, I just wanted you to have this in your tool belt to know.
Yeah, and we're paid for knowledge, advice, and service, right? Mm-hmm. And the more we understand about the trends, the market, the whole 9 yards, the more value we can bring to the consumer. Knowing that right now there's understanding that there's a massive rise in renovations, mainly due to everybody being stuck at home for months on end, right? Knowing that people want bigger backyards now, they want to create their backyards and their bathrooms a sanctuary, all this stuff, updating the dining rooms, understanding all that when we're having conversations with our clients, again, just reinforces our knowledge, us being local market experts, right? And helps draw them closer to us, so that they know we can bring them what they need. Just knowing this stuff is very, very important.
100%. If I'm going out as a listing agent and taking a listing and the seller's got, $5,000 to invest, and they're, thinking about what can I do to make my property more appealing, look at their backyard. And maybe it just involves some pressure washing and some planting of flowers and some new chairs, but look at those things and know that that's what the consumer is looking for. So these are some of my top 5 takeaways. Anytime you can spend a couple hours with Carrie Keller, wow, I don't know, like I could have written pages. I tried to keep it short because it's Friday and it's noon, and I know we're all eager to get out there and enjoy the day. Keller Williams is the #1 brand in luxury real estate. So we need to tell that story out there. And the biggest reason I wanted to present this today is I don't care if you've never had a luxury listing. I don't want you to be intimidated by it, because you have the tools, the resources, and the expertise right here in the market centers to help you with that. I want you to go out there and own that listing appointment and take that listing. And if you are an experienced agent and you've done luxury, I want you in the luxury hub using the resources, knocking the competition out of the way, and continuing to promote us as the #1 luxury brand. This I thought was interesting, and Gary kind of said it over and over again, and this was through the conversation with Inspirato. We wonder why in the heck people are making like insane offers on property or putting $25,000 down on a, to hold a property. I know in North Carolina, I heard a story yesterday that somebody did a $25,000 due diligence on a $120,000 home. So why are they doing that? People make emotional decisions. So they're going to make a decision to buy that home, to pay that price, and to frankly make an insane offer sometimes. They're going to justify that to themselves, to their spouses, their family, their friends. They're going to justify that logically. So just remember, the buyers are being emotional, right? We don't need to try to get in that space with them. Let them make the decision. Let them talk themselves in and out of it. They'll justify it. The more you know about a person, the more you can help them. Guys, I can't stress enough, if you aren't great at asking questions of your clients, ask questions. Get clarity. When they say they want a big yard, what does that mean? What is their definition of a big yard? What are they going to do with that yard? Why is that important to them? Like, dig 3D on things and become their resource by figuring out what it is that they need and what it is that they want. So the more you know, the more you can help them. This one was interesting, and I thought about like, wow, we do this and we don't even like acknowledge it sometimes, but go out of your way to fix someone's problem or solve their need. I don't think this just applies to our clients, but I think this applies to our fellow agents. Whether they're in this market center or our market centers, or they're with a competing company, or they're out there on their own, guys, we need a win-win, and you will earn respect by doing this. So I think like hearing that and just saying that to you guys is just something I thought was beneficial to hear and say. What kind of experience are you providing for your client? What kind of experience are you providing just in general? Experience is everything. Like right now, your entire reputation and your relationship with that client is about the experience. So make it a good experience. Every real estate transaction is going to have some sort of hiccup or road bump. It's how you handle it. Are you responding? Are you reacting? Are you being professional? Are you giving them the greatest experience possible? One of the things Inspirato said, like their #1 goal, they have what is called a destination experience team. The #1 goal of that team is to eliminate any inconvenience or problem for their client. So do you have a client experience team within yourself? Like, are you providing that for your clients? It's particularly important in the luxury space, but I think it's important across the board. So.
I'll say this, Karen, first off, that piece on the customer experience, KW talked about this at length with Gary Keller and and Jason Abrams. They all talked about this at length at Fairmont Reunion, this concept of first, generate a low-cost lead. Second, create a customer experience that's unmatched, right? Diving into the infrastructure, diving into some of these resources that we have access to bring more value to the client is literally backing up that idea of creating a better consumer experience and an unmatched consumer experience. Also, there's a book called The Power of Moments that talks a lot about this. People don't remember the words that are coming out of your mouth. They remember the way that you made them feel. And lastly, everybody has a sign hanging around their neck that says, make me feel important. If we operate on the simple assumption that people do business with people they like, then these simple concepts right here, right? Or rather, we should then focus on these simple concepts and make sure they're constantly coming alive in our business, draw people closer to us, and help them understand that we care for them, we want the best for them, and we want to help them get to where they want to be faster. And lastly, The Psychology of Money, another book, talks about this concept of reasonable versus rational. And it goes right here. People make emotional decisions and justify them logically. The human being we're not a rational being. We're a terribly emotional being, right? So for us to sit here and think that all the decisions that we're making are rational is absolutely dumb. Like, that doesn't make any sense, right? It doesn't work that way. And I pulled it up real quick. It says a rational investor makes decisions based on numeric facts. This is from the book Psychology of Money. A rational investor makes decisions based on numeric facts. A reasonable investor makes them in a conference room surrounded by coworkers you want to think highly of you, with a spouse you don't want to let down, or judged against the silly but realistic competitors that are your brother-in-law, your neighbor, and your own personal doubts. Investing has a social component that's often ignored when viewed through a strictly financial lens. So the reason I bring that up is because we're talking about an investment, right? That's typically one of the largest investments people make. For us to sit here and believe that they're making it solely based on a rational decision and the numbers is kind of asinine. Like, it doesn't make sense. There's so many variables. We have to appreciate those variables. We have to appreciate the emotion that's going into the decision and help them make a reasonable decision for them, period. And the easiest way to do that is, like Karen said, ask questions, go out of your way to fix problems, right? But you can't go out of your way to fix problems if you're not asking questions to understand what their problems are. So these are simple concepts, very simple concepts that play right into human behavior that absolutely help us bring more value to the consumer, therefore creating a better consumer experience that's unmatched, and that will generate leads back into your database. That's sustainable business. And our job is to, again, show you this infrastructure, but also help you change the way that you're thinking about the way you're doing business so that your business can get you to where you want to go faster, right? So I'm sure we'll have these slides somewhere, but this slide right here is gold. So think about it. And I would encourage you to ask yourself questions like, how am I helping people through these emotional decisions, right? What am I doing to fix to go out of my way and fix problems for people? And what does my consumer experience look like? And how is it unmatched? And how is it creating more leads into my database? Because that's sustainable business. So
yeah. I love it. And I mean, I agree with everything you said. And it's one of those things from the investor standpoint. Even investors who are normally very financially minded are making decisions based on their emotion. Like, they know the market's, I mean, for lack of a better word, insane or crazy right now. And yet they're still purchasing properties and knowing that in the long term, it's going to work out. So the next slide was actually fascinating. And I'm okay if we share these with the recording. I put these together between like last night and first thing this morning, just so I'd have some talking points for you. And so that you could take this information and give it back to your clients, get it out into the community. Growth of real estate. So this was kind of how they ended the meeting yesterday to some extent. In the United States alone, the total value of owner-occupied real estate is roughly $32 trillion. That's nearly as much as the value of the entire United States stock market. I thought that was unbelievable. I mean, I don't know if anybody else, if that strikes you that way, but I was like, wow. So it's another fact to share with someone. If they're hesitant on purchasing a property, if they're thinking they're going to rent, if whatever their hang up is. I know we've got a lot of sellers right now. Where am I going to go? Think about if every single seller that was asking themselves that question just put their house on the market. Our problem might be solved. Had that conversation with my very own sister yesterday. She was going to wait till June. I'm like, why? Because we don't know where we're going to go. I'm like, if you are one of those people, you're part of the problem. So having the conversation about like the value of real estate, and we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow or next week or next month or next year. It's just what it is today. But for people who waited because they didn't know what to do last year, how much money have they lost? And that's just me thinking out loud. So one of the things I want to be part of this meeting every month is if you have buyer or seller needs and you just want to throw it out there to the group as a reward for those of you on the call, I would love to open up the floor. And after this piece, I just want to screen share a couple of places that we've talked about for you. So does anybody have a buyer or seller need they would like to share with the group?
Well, before we share that, so if anybody has any particularly buyer needs that are not being met because of the low inventory, I've been teaching a lot of classes with the productivity coaching program about creating that inventory through door knocking, cold calling, circle prospecting and a bunch of other mediums to find property. So if you have buyers, bring them to me, and what their buyer needs are and their time frame. I will put the kids, as I call them, to work and find that inventory for you. Let's create the inventory and keep it all in-house and continue to grow our brand.
Love it. I love it. That would be
100%.
my
And-
strategy if I was an agent right now.
And utilize that network, right? There, go to Ryan, go to the leadership team, go to your fellow agents. The relationships that we have are becoming so much more important, be it the relationships internal, right? The relationships with co-brokers in the community, in our market. They're becoming so much more important than ever before because of the lower inventory market, right? And we made a comment earlier on that last slide. We were talking about the size of the real estate market, right? We have to appreciate that there were 5.7 million homes sold last year or whatever it was. And most of the time we focus on getting our share of that. However, we need to change our thinking and focus on the fact that there were 82 million homeowners. And if we go around and we create relationships with 82 million homeowners, or a share of that larger number, right? Whether it's through creating relationships with other agents and saying, hey, who do you have out there? What buyer needs do you have? Whether it's going to Karen or going to Ryan and saying, hey, who have you been talking to that has a buyer need or a seller coming up, right? Creating relationships and focusing on that larger number, that 82 million, I guarantee you will get a bigger share of the 5.7 million homes each year, and you will create a much more sustainable business into the future than slinging houses and focusing on the 5.7 million, with all due respect. So it's just this idea of continuing to change our mindset, continuing to adapt. Because years ago, somebody said in a training, actually it was Chris Heller, a past CEO of the company. It was right around, I think this was 2016. They made a comment about, somebody asked, like, how's the presidential election going to affect the real estate market? And he said, well, number one, I don't have a crystal ball, but number two, I can tell you things are going to change. And I don't know what that means, up, down, right, left, doesn't really matter. But my ability to adapt is paramount in my success moving forward, right? And the way that we adapt, number one, is we change our thinking about what's happening. And then number two, we change our habits and our activities. And I think that's what, again, this is all about. That's what the point of this meeting, or Ryan making that comment about, hey, I've got people looking, or Karen sharing some of these statistics. That's what it's all about. So I hope that's helpful. That's my thought.
I love that you shared that about changing. I will tell you, I was on the Selling with Style class that Cynthia Matheny put on through CES, and she was talking about the most common style or behavioral profile among real estate agents is the S. And I mean, whether it's their lead or their next second, behavioral style, and S's, we don't like change, right? So when somebody's telling us we need to change our thinking or change our mindset or change the way we're doing things, we resist it naturally. That's natural. So just don't be afraid of the fact that you're like not wanting to change, and don't be afraid of changing. Let us help you through that. Let us coach you through it, guide you through it, figure out what's going to work. What you did a year ago may not work this year. And what you're doing, the only way
to get better is different.
May not work. Yeah. So you constantly have to change and go with that. So any buyer or seller needs that you guys want to share right now? Okay, well, I'm going to put someone on the spot real quick. Aaron, from the Snook team, how long have you been with Keller Williams Mount Pleasant?
I don't know, like maybe a month and a half, 2 months, something like that.
Okay, how long have you had your license?
Today's the 10th day.
Okay, and so what happened to you yesterday?
I ratified my first contract.
So he was standing at the front desk and he had a big smile on his face, and I said hello, good morning to him. Did not realize that. So he's next to Ryan on my screen, and Ryan's was just a few days longer than that. So I think Aaron's goal is to beat Ryan. So it was pretty awesome. So I love sharing these things when I find out about them. So if there's anybody on here who has a big win to share like that, we'd always love to make that announcement as well. So.
Well, Karen, did you hear, just like based on the conversation we were just having with you and Vince, like, did you hear how he got it under contract? It was a connection to an agent that he knew and a neighbor that he had, and he created the deal out of thin air. like what we keep talking about doing of creating the inventory and developing relationships to find needs. He
Thank you.
found a buyer for the property. He's not like he had a buyer. The property became available and he found the buyer and took it to the property and got it. Like
Right.
he created the opportunity that almost didn't exist. And that's the mindset. I love that mindset comment you made there, Vince. Like that's the mindset we need to take to real estate. Now, one comment my mentor said early in my career was treat your buyers as if the internet is down.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Awesome. And then Jan brought to my attention too, Aaron, how much did he pay for the first property that he bought in that subdivision or in that?
So me and him bought pretty much in the same time frame back in December. He paid $300 for the first one, and the second one he's buying is identical to the first one, but they're now in the 370 range. So that's 4 months.
4 months.
Yeah,
And
so that's
how
how I
did
sold it. That's how I sold it to him. I said, if you get this one, you have two with an average price of 335, and you'll be in an awesome position. And he took it, and he took it and ran with it. He sent me proof of funds, and it was a done deal.
That is an awesome script. So I just wanted to share that. Like, don't be intimidated by investors. Just like I don't want you to be intimidated by luxury. I want you guys, I don't care how new you are. I don't care how long you've been in this business. You have the tools, the resources, the people, the mentors, the leadership. We're here to help you. So anyway, congratulations. I'm so proud of you guys. Can you let me share my screen, Tiffany, real quick? I want to wrap up with this. I just want to show them. Okay, share screen. Oh.
We're a technology company.
Yes, we're a technology company and Karen needs help. So
Just had to make my screen smaller.
Okay.
You should be able to now.
Okay, let's see if this is the one. Okay, can you see my screen here?
Yes, we
Okay.
can.
Okay, so on the marketing tab, so think of, I didn't want to go through the whole spiel on this, mykw.kw.com. On the marketing tab, you've got your resources. It's going to have the calendar with training. It's going to have information about Red Day. This is a great place for you to go. For those of you wanting information about luxury, every single person on this screen should have access to the new KW Luxury. If you've earned in, you would have a luxury hub. Okay. And if you want more information on that, please come sit down with me, schedule an appointment, schedule a Zoom. I'll share that with you and what that looks like. But everyone should have access to the luxury resources. That being said, you have a listing appointment, a buyer you're working with. There are resources in there, as well as once a week on Fridays, although I think they're not doing it this week because there was a conflict. They are offering a getting started in luxury or intro to luxury type call that is building on what you can find here in this tab. And I mean, some of you may be like, I'm not interested in doing luxury. I don't know why I just sat on a call that was all about luxury. However, I'm just going to tell you, you want to grow your business exponentially without having to add a whole lot of leverage or a whole lot of people on your team, increase your price point. It's as simple as that. So I want to make that 100% known to you. Can you still see my screen? Facebook?
Yes.
It switched. Okay. This is the group. If you are not a member of it, this is the group you want to be a member of. And we have had a hard time finding everyone. So if you're not friends with someone on the leadership team and we've gone in here looking for you, or there's 2 or 3 people on Facebook with your same name, we're not going to invite them to this group. You can go on here and request to be a member of this group. It is exclusive to people whose licenses are hung at any of our greater Charleston KW offices. If anybody gets in here that's not exclusive to our firm, we will have a problem with the real estate commission. So as you can see, coming soons, this is where we want you to be putting coming soons. I know some of you cross post them in your market center page. This is where people will be going and looking for them. So just hopefully that helps you find that. And then one of the things we talked about a little bit, new designs. When you go to your command home screen, in the mine's over here on the top. Some of you may have to scroll down to find it, but it's one of the first things I like to see. So new and designs. These are just they're perfectly sized for Facebook, Instagram, and other social media posts that you can customize, and particularly like this one. So suppose you had a property listed, it got 10 offers and it sold for 30,000 over. However, do not post this until it's closed. Okay, that's my fair warning. Once it has closed, swap out this picture, plug in a couple of numbers, blast that all over the internet. I would actually pay to promote this if I was an agent. This is something I would do a paid ad on. Make sure the property is closed. And then if you have any questions, we can help you with that. I like this one too. 2020 home appreciation, right? And we're in 2021, and you just heard what Aaron said about like the difference in a property in just 4 short months. So this is just something to put out there to educate people. And they are making these so easy for us to use. Like you've got a buyer one, and I think there's a homeowner one. So remember the tax deadline was extended from April 15th to May. And I don't remember, was it May 15th or 19th or something? I don't remember the exact date. However, this is a great time to post those. So where would you find them if you wanted to? If you're not familiar with Command, there's lots of training opportunities. However, you go over here to designs, and I'm hoping you guys can still see this. I hit the plus sign. I hit the social media sign. I hit next. And if I was doing a listing one, I could have checked that box. It immediately takes me to that workspace, and I have a lot of tabs open right now, so bear with me. Right down here, you see everything, everything available to us. The ones I just showed you were new designs, so that's where you would find those. We got stuff you could pre-do Mother's Day, Memorial Day, anything. Cinco de Mayo's on here. I mean, come on, there's a million reasons to like get in here and post stuff. And then again, here's some of the luxury stuff that they're putting out there. Those are signatures. Let's see. Okay. So you do understand or do know, and if you don't, come talk to us about it. With the permission of the listing agent, that's my personal policy. With the permission of the listing agent, you can actually advertise one of our firm listings. So someone in your market center has a listing, whether it's in your neighborhood or in an area that you want to sell in, just ask for their blessing to market it. I seriously doubt they're going to tell you no, and plug it in and market a either for sale or just listed. Same thing under here. So you got your regular listings and your luxury, and you guys should have access to all of those. The last thing I'm going to show you, if you haven't checked out KW Worldwide, go to kwworldwide.com. Just look at how Keller Williams is growing. I know they recently added 2 more, thought it would be on this homepage. They recently added 2 more areas or 2 more countries. Oh, good grief, Karen. Okay, get off the map. And so that's on here, and you can look at some different things. One of the things that they said to us, if you have any questions, if you want to learn more about Worldwide, if you want to know more about how to be part of Worldwide, if you have family members in other countries or friends and you want to get them in touch, you can simply email kwworldwide@kw.com. And Lizette Montoto is the contact person specifically for Worldwide Luxury. What we're seeing is people who like to travel still like to travel. So you may have a client here in Charleston that wants to buy a house in some other country so that they have a place to go and stay and a place to escape. And they may not want to go somewhere in the United States. So just know that this resource is there for you. And we have a whole department there to assist you. So.
And can you real quick just go to KW Connect, to KW Connect? Go back there. Just the home screen.
The home screen. I think it was
Thanks.
that. Oh, this one or no?
No, you were actually right. Go back to what? Yeah. So just click on that little search.
Oh, up here at the top.
Yeah, click on that and just type in client communication kit.
Oh yes, I'm glad you brought this up. If you haven't seen these, I've been sharing these like crazy. Okay.
Perfect. So scroll down. So a lot of this information and a lot of the designs and a lot of the already created marketing templates that you can utilize are right in these communication kits. So for example, multiple offers. I hear there's a lot of multiple offers right now. I bet Ryan has been dealing with constant training around how to get your offer accepted, right? Or I hear there's a low inventory environment. I hear that we're looking for ways to get more sellers. Well, here's a client communication kit that was created by a professional marketing department within KWRI around whether it's social media, whether posts, emails, texts, call scripts, the whole 9 yards, all within a communication kit that you can sit here, download in 2 seconds, take, edit yourself, and post. So again, we're talking about efficiency and effectiveness.
Yeah.
And tools create effectiveness and efficiency in a system, correct? And our system right now should be very much focused on lead generation. Our lead generation system has to be kind of boosted with some of these tools that we have access to, because it also saves us massive time. So type in client communication kit into KW Connect, and you'll find all of these great resources for you to go and edit and customize. And a lot of it'll pull you to designs, all that good stuff. So,
and watch your
I love
email, because as soon as these hit, they're sending an email out. And I know we get a million emails, but like if it's coming from KWRI and you scroll down and you see one of these, I think the first one was the sellers wanted, which these have a phone script, a text script, an email script, and social media post. Then they came out with multiple offers. The most recent one was made in the shade. And I've been sharing these like crazy. I think they're fantastic. They are so relevant to the market of the moment. So just make yourself familiar with them. If you have trouble locating them, let one of us know. We'll help you get there and be ready to crush it. Anybody have anything else to add?
Yeah, actually, real fast. I was just texting with Andrew Klingensmith, who's a new agent in our office and on my program. He took what I said last week and he took a buyer need that somebody had shown for like a 4-bedroom, 4-bath up in Somerville, and he leveraged that into a listing appointment with a for sale by owner next week. So
Love it. Congratulations, Andrew.
it's
So
awesome.
already getting appointments for creating the inventory that we already need. So maybe he can just walk in and do the deal.
I love it.
So if you all bring them to us, we'll get them done. My guy Andrew will go out there and pound the pavement for your deals.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Ryan.
Well, you looking so slick in that tie today. How could I not give you the
I know I
props?
feel really underdressed in my bling t-shirt with some of these people on the call, all dazzled up in their
Friday
suits.
call session, right?
Well, Vince and I really appreciate you guys joining us today. We'll make this recording available along with the slides so you have the data. Please click the link. Make sure you're part of the Facebook page, KW Greater Charleston Facebook. Is it page or group? Page, group, I don't remember. Please make sure you're part of that, because that's where we're going to see the coming soons, and that's where we're going to have one leg up on the competition as far as our buyer needs. So anything you want to add, Vince?
Oh, go out there, change your thinking, change your world. That's what they say. Go
Happy
out there and think
Friday.
about things in a different way and go take some listings. See you, team.
Yep. Take care. Bye.
See ya.